morning, everyone. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. And this is our final week in our April Color Challenge. Now, when we're finished here, I hope you'll click on the blog post link in the description box below and hop over and check out my interview with Ceri the Crafter and see shots of his studio. I am doing this without coffee this morning. We have rain in the Ozarks. So I'm hoping I keep internet long enough to upload this video. So I thought what I would do is I would do this in real time and talk to you about what we're doing with Ceri's challenge this week. Now, Ceri does postcards, scrappy postcards, but what he does is he lays a collection of them out on his table, and I'm going to link his video down below so you can check out his process, because, you know, as I've done with all of Ceri's, I'm switching them up a little bit. But Ceri will lay out his postcards like this in a group, and then he'll collage them by connecting them with strips of paper. And then when he has them all collaged, then he'll cut them apart. But I know some of you guys are so over this collaging thing, so this is what we're going to do instead. We are going to take one postcard, and let me move these out of the way. And I'm going to lay those right there because I may come back to those outside of the video. And we're just going to take one postcard. Now, I do want to do one thing. I knew I had my sanding block handy. It was a dark corner. Because this is a slick surface, and I do want to leave this blank for the time being, I'm going to just rough this up a little bit with my sanding block. You can use an emery block. You can gesso over it first if you want. I just want to get the shininess off of that a little bit, and then I'll come back here and wipe it off. Get the sanding residue off of there. Okay, now we are ready to play. Now I'm going to use a variety of papers from Line Dot Arrow from her Spring Blooms kit that I've been using, and her ephemera, but I'm also going to use this. And I decided I want to use this for the entire background. So I'm going to bring in my glue book, just like this. And I'm going to grab my glue stick. I've been using the glue stick more, and we'll see how it holds up. I'm not a fan of glue sticks, you know that. In fact, let's use the good Tombow glue stick. I bought some more of those recently, so I'd have plenty. Let's use the good Tombow glue stick. I trust it more than I do Elmer's. Elmer's is great, I think, in the off-brands for like Dollar Tree and Dollar General. For if you're going to stitch around them, I think they'd be okay. But I'm not a fan of glue sticks. Now I'm going to set this to where, just like that. And I have a bone folder here that I can squeegee this down. And I also think this is another important part. Don't just put your glue stick down, lay your paper down, and kind of give it a rub. Really burnish it and make it make good contact with your papers. And I'm going to turn this over like this and get it from both sides. And I think that will make a difference in how well your glue stick works. Okay, then we're going to come back with my scissors. These are my Westcott non-sticks that I got at Walmart. And I'm going to trim that right up close to that. And now I have a good background to work with. Whoops. I'm doing this without my cheaters, without coffee. It's going to be one of those days. I spent yesterday in Poplar Bluff at my favorite coffee shop, Bluff Coffee and Mercantile, and worked on my Kanban board so I could be trying to get things in order. Okay, probably not trimmed exactly straight, since I managed to cut part of the cardstock when I was doing that. Now I want to come back in, and I want to stamp. And I'm going to use the Tombow because I want this to really stand out. I am using a retired set from Stampin' Up! Called Free as a Bird. And somewhere here I have a box with bigger blocks in it. This one will work. I'm not going to dig out my Stampin' Up! Blocks this morning. Just go with what I've got handy. And I'm just going to put those on there to where I've got mostly the birds. Now, because I want this to really show up, I'm going to stamp it in Tombow Tuxedo Memento Black. And to get a good impression with your inks to your stamps without getting smudging around your edges is to take the ink pad to the stamp. If you take the stamp to the ink pad, you have a tendency to press down, and that's what gets your ink around your edges. So to get a clear image, go ink pad to stamp, and you'll be much happier with your impression. And let's kind of center this one across. Let's do this one up here, just like this. When I get this done this morning, I have to do a, yeah, one of those. I have to do a memory dex card this morning and get it ready to go in the mail, which means I'm running out in the rain today, so I may treat myself to lunch. We'll see. Taco salad sounds good. Now I've got this one on here, and I really want a green ink, and I have a Versacolor pigment ink. It's green tea, and we're going to try it and see what we get with that, since we figured out how to get it open. And we're just going to do that. And I think I'm going to come up here like this, and then I'm going to ghost stamp it. And because I want this one ghost stamped too, I'm going to stamp off a leaf onto paper. And I'll use a piece of this that I've already cut off. Do that. And then come back with a second stamp off there. So I have just a hint of the green. I am so loving my ink pad storage over here. It is so nice. Now, I didn't think about the fact that this might be too large for a pocket. But I'm going to go with it because I think what I'm going to do, let's come back with something from Natalie's kit. Because we need something with a little more texture on here. So I'm going to come back with this. I love this lace on here. And I'm going to cut that off. I'll have to come back and trim it off when I'm done, but I want to cut it off with that flower. And apparently they had done something and put tape on here, maybe where they had a partial around it, and I will fight with that off camera, so we're not burning time here. But it looks like as if they put tape on there where they taped a couple of ends together. And I really want to get that off of there. There we go. There we go, that works. If I can get it off my finger, we'll be good. Now, I made a boo-boo the other day. And I'm going to see if I can fix it today. But I left my favorite glue brush. I didn't wash it. I didn't put it in anything. So I'm going to put it in acetone this morning. And see if I can clean it off. So in the meantime, I'm going to use one similar. And this is my craft glue. And I don't know if I told you before, but I did notice that Hobby Lobby is carrying this again. I think it was just in amongst maybe they had it on the glue kiosk and I just didn't look there and didn't see it, or something to that effect. But it's back there now. And it is my favorite glue to use when I want to glue fabric or ribbons. And I'm going to lay this up here to the point where the flowers are stuck in the glue. I still get a little bit of a wave, but I also have a good adhesion with that glue into the ribbon. I was in Hobby Lobby yesterday. Even more items have been marked down. They're still going through the departments and marking things down. And I wasn't surprised. But one of the things I know they're doing, or not going to do, is they are no longer going to carry, take that back, they're no longer going to offer sewology items in the rotation. Kind of like that guy. In the rotation of sales items, you know, where one week you have the paper studio items and next one you have planners, and they're not going to do that anymore. Sewology is not going to be part of that 40% off rotation. So, I picked up a couple of things yesterday to put in the sewing journal kits that I'm working on. Now, I am using a pink color, pretty pink, from Stampin' Up. It's an old color. And because I have a pink background, and I'm not doing whites and vintages on here, I'm alternating between using the pretty pink as a distress and the gold. Now, I chose that, and I probably, since that's so big, I don't know, balance-wise maybe? Maybe? Let's see if I have any more of the small ones. I like using that bunny. I think that bunny's cute. I liked this one, but it's in the wrong corner. I'd be covering up my leaves. So, I don't see any more of the tiny ones. There's one for love. And this is a neat thing. When you have digitals, go through and fussy cut out all your pieces and put them in something. And I have Sunshine. I don't think Sunshine works, and I really don't want Love. I think I want Celebrate. So I'm going to edge this one in the pink as well. And I kind of come down over the top of the tag or item. That way I get a little bit of shadowing around the base. Okay, and since I have glue on this, I'm going to go ahead and use the glue on this. Let me use my glue over here so I get the glue. Okay, glue's off of there. Now I can go back to my glue stick. And I'm over here on my, I'm pretty sure I'm off camera, but I'm on my glue book over here. And let's put Celebrate right there. Try to level it up. Level is not my thing. Even, nah. Okay, and I'm going to put that one right there to where it kind of sits over top of that lace a little bit. Okay, then we're going to flip this over. And I thought I had some of the pieces of that. Oh, let's use this. This would be a nice contrast. Wouldn't it? Or the green. The green would be a nice... Oops, neither one of them are white enough. So we're not going to be using those. Let's use this one for our back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the other postcards as my template. And I want to get this one to where it's down in the corner. So I'm going to use this. And thought I had a pencil handy. Apparently not. Aha, I do. It happens. And I'm going to draw this out just like that. And I'm not going to trust myself to draw that straight. So I am bringing this up, bringing my trimmer up. And I am going to cut this just a hair wider in case I didn't get that lined up straight. And then I can come back and trim it after I've had coffee. And then I'm going to move my pinky sheets here and get back over here to my glue book. And make sure I get the edges down really good. Since I'm not planning on sewing this pocket, I want to make sure that the glue is right up to the edges really well. And then, I could have gone with the plain white, but I wanted a little bit of color over here. And I'm going to line this up so I'm only trimming from the top and one side. And then we're going to come back in with our, you can use a plastic credit card, a room key, none of which I have handy here. You can use a ruler. Now, I would like to say I'm going to finish this journal this week. I might work on it this weekend and see if I can do that. I have one more of the paper bags to do. Okay. Just couldn't get up against that edge, no matter how much I tried to go at that angle on there. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I have this other paper bag that I'm going to be doing that's going to become the back of my kit. And it's going to go in the journal this way so the pocket's on the inside. And see, that's really heavy for there. That is really heavy for there. So what I'm going to do, let's start here. We'll trim it down a little bit. Give myself a little bit of grace. But not a lot, because I still want some pink above there. But let's take off one line of that. That's still going to be pretty long. But I think I'll be okay with that, because what I will do is I will just, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Why didn't somebody stop me? Why didn't somebody stop me? See if I've got a piece of this. I do. Okay. Because I want this to be a journaling spot. I want it to be a journaling spot. So let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of this. And I'm going to go ahead and clip all this extra off. And I can use this. That I can use. This little pieces can go bye-bye. I'm getting better at pitching. I really am. Okay, now this is the card is right at 3.5. So let's take this down to like 3 1/4. No, it's almost 4. It's almost 4. So let's take this down to 3 3/4. Another little piece we can save for later. And I'm going to use my scoreboard here. And I'm going to line that up. And it doesn't matter measurement-wise. I just want to get down through the center of this. And you'll see what we're doing here in just a second. Okay, there's that. Put that back on there so I don't lose it. Fold this down, and yeah, it's a little off. That piece wasn't exactly an even measurement, but now I can take and use my glue. In fact, let's lay this side down. It's wider. Let's lay this side down. Okay. Hold that over so you can see where to line it up on that side. So we have taken a regular postcard, and you get them in the mail. When I get my rebate back from Menards, half of it's just a plain postcard, and the other half is, you know, with their advertising stuff on it, and the other one is my rebate receipt. But now, with this, we have created a flip out with a journaling spot. Now, when you're doing flip outs, let me scoot this over. When you're doing flip outs where you've got a writing space over here in mid-air, this is a good reason to make a writing board for your journal so that you have a surface you can put under here and do your writing on. So I will probably make a writing journal for this, or I mean a writing board as well for this. And then it will glue into my page just like that. And then I've got the writing space on the back. Okay? So that is it for our final inspiration from Ceri the Crafter. As I said, remember to check the description box below so you can go over and check out the video that he did that inspired me to do this week's video. Next month, Couple of things. I've emailed several people about being on my Creators Corner, so I may or may not have somebody for next week. If I don't, because the first Saturday in May is National Scrapbooking Day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I am going to pick scrapbooking artists to inspire me to do either scrapbook pages or use those techniques on cards and journals. So that's what we're going to be doing for next month. I feel like there should be something else that I should tell you that's coming up, but my brain is just not with me right now. So, in the meantime, let's finish up this April Color Challenge and be ready for May. I want you to remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Are you doing a journal? Did you do card bases? Did you do just basic bases to have in your box ready to add other stuff to? Because that is always an option too. Start with a color base, and then you can go through and add embellishments later, or maybe it's the perfect item to tuck into a journal that you're working on as a completed piece. So until then, I will see you soon. Creative blessings.